I got a new microphone, Blue Yeti, and I didn't realize how fucking crystal clear this shit sounds. It sounds so nice. A little too nice. It picks up so much more sounds from everywhere. I'm gonna have to get a pop filter and all that good stuff. It sounds so crispy, like you can hear my It sounds weird. Anyways, I'm gonna have to get used to this new microphone setup. But today we're gonna talk about the degeneracy, and well, we always talk about the degeneracies, but yeah, dude, we're at the end of times. I feel like, man, there's too much debauchery going on, and I don't mean end of times like it's in like Jesus is gonna come. Maybe, who knows? I don't know, but I mean the end of times as in like the United States' downfall. That's what I think, and it's clear because everybody's gooning. No one wants to do anything besides dopamine hits. If it doesn't feel good, people aren't going to do it. There's no morality with anybody anymore. Everybody just wants to get, well, theirs, They don't want to invest in anything. They just want their money and their feelings now and fuck tomorrow. And that's not what this country was built on, or any country. Every country was built on basically investing for the future. Plant the seeds and, the future bears the fruit. They don't do that anymore. No one wants to plant the seeds anymore. And that's what I mean by we're in the end of times, at least for the United States, and maybe a lot of Europe. But the only ones that seem to be planting seeds now are China and Russia. And any of the BRICS countries, really. Any of those other countries, like Mexico is even planting seeds. You can argue that they're cartel run or whatever, but even the cartel helps out the communities and everything. So they're planting seeds. It's just not in the benefit of the United States. So they're obviously going to be, terrorist this, terrorist that. We need to take them out because it's not in your convenience. Anyways, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about Lil Tay. Lil Tay, the online Asian girl who made her fame just talking shit, saying the N-word when she was like 9 years old. Anyways, I think it was like a couple days ago or something that she finally turned 18, and she was hinting at making an OF, just like the bad baby chick. Yeah, I guess she dropped it. And the whole time, she even got banned on Twitter, which was the funny part. Is right here. Here, I'll show you. Lil Tay suspended. Next time, maybe don't bait pedophiles, you absolute weirdo. Which is a funny take because it's like, who's the weirdo? Is it her or the pedophiles? But yeah, she got suspended, and then over here she started. Let's see. She started asking people whether she should make an OF, and a few of them responded. Let's see. Whoops, not me. I'm not trying to respond. It's too late. She had the real Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk, Jake Paul, Joe Rogan, Michael J. Knowles, the Whatever Podcast, Pearl, and Aiden Ross. Pearl actually did. You may as well do it because I don't think you have much else to offer the world. I kind of agree. And Michael, since you asked my opinion whether or not the question is sincere, I'll give it. Don't. No amount of money is worth your dignity, and you'll regret it immensely if you do. See, my thing is, I don't think these people have any dignity at all. They'll do anything for clout. Offset said it best. Do anything for clout. They do anything for clout. But yeah, they don't have any dignity at all. They sold it. They didn't even have a chance to develop it. They sold it when they were young, before they even knew. You guys ever read the book Conversations with the Devil? He basically says that. He's like, my intention is to get him young with before they even have a chance to know what morality is, and already disturb them. That's why the devil basically puts himself and his minions and whatever, his ideologies within the school system, so they don't even have a chance to develop morality or souls or whatever. And giving a kid a phone nowadays, it basically does that. It stunts them from actually developing a soul, if you even believe in that. I do. But, they don't develop morality. They do anything just for likes and clicks and the dopamine hits that they get. And so obviously she was doing this as a marketing stunt, She's going to do it anyways. She just needed these big names to help her promote it and make a whole scandal. Good marketing tactic, ain't gonna lie. But yeah, and it's crazy because these type of chicks are gonna be influencing other chicks and more chicks to do this shit. Yeah, and it's just I don't know. To me, it's sickening. It's the downfall for real. When hoes are making more money than actual people who make the infrastructure run, that's a problem. That's a problem. It makes no one actually want to have a good job. Like no one wants to put in the effort for anything. Hoes, even mids think they're like at that level now. And it's like, you sell your pussy pics for like $10 on OnlyFans, and you only got like your whole town on it. Like you're not worth that much. You know what I mean? But it's all these dudes, all these simps who basically make them think like that, overinflate their egos by giving them likes and all these DMs and shit. And so a chick thinks that she's worth so much more than she actually is, And then you have all these people on Twitter saying, "Yeah, you go, girl, you go," just promoting all that bullshit. And the thing is, the dude's fault. There's so many simps out there, and I blame the simps, because if there wasn't a market for it, if there wasn't a demand for it, there wouldn't be a supply for it. So there's so many lonely men out there. It's like an epidemic now. And I blame them, dude. I blame themselves, because they'd rather be playing video games, not doing shit, getting their dopamine hits from fucking jerking off and just scrolling media or playing video games and smoking weed. But that's all fake dopamine, all fake, serotonin. I was there myself, not as bad as the incels, but, it's still, it doesn't bring any happiness, it's just like I guess you do it because all the homies are doing it when you're younger, so it seems normal, but then you grow up and you realize, holy shit, I wasted a lot of time. I didn't do anything, and then now you're stuck as like a 30-year-old dude doing the same shit, and it's like, bro, you don't have nothing to show for it. That's the trap, is that you waste time doing all this bullshit, and the time that you should be doing investing in yourself and, your bank account, your physique, your things or whatever, material items. Instead of doing that, you're wasting your time on a video game that isn't gonna fucking bring you anything. Jerking off ain't gonna bring you anything. It's just gonna make you feel worse once you nut. You're gonna be like, fuck, I'm a fucking loser. Once that feeling goes away. And it's only like a fucking, like, I don't know how long your fucking orgasms last, but it's the amount of time wasted just to reach a climax is not worth, And then you're just alone again. That time you're jerking off and watching porn, you might as well fucking hit up a chick and actually try to build something with her. But then it goes to the same thing. Chicks don't even fucking want to have a relationship anymore. Everybody who is online is chronically ill, for sure. It's a disease. Y'all need to get off the fucking internet. If you're watching this video, get off the fucking internet. Learn a skill. I'm gonna start posting videos of courses that I've done. I have real life skills. I've done construction. I've done painting. I've done cooking. I've worked in factories. I have a bunch of different skill sets. Management, whatever. I'm gonna start building courses so people like you can actually, do something. I mean, they're not like over the top, like you're gonna get rich, but it will make you a living. I'll go over the pros and cons and everything like that, but a lot of you don't even have any fucking skills. You guys are working at a 7-Eleven or a fucking Taco Bell, McDonald's, and you wonder why you're like unfulfilled, you know. And I'm not saying these jobs are gonna fulfill you, you know, but at least they'll give you a little more money. You know, if you become a cook, you'll get more money than being a fucking cashier or whatever. Unless you're in California. In California, all people who work at fast foods make like $20 minimum, which is insane. It's fucking like low level entry fucking things are earning more than most people. That shit actually pisses me off. But you won't be fulfilled, I'll tell you that. I worked at Taco Bell as my very first job. I lasted there like 3 years. And although for me, it was really fun. That was when I was a degenerate. I was constantly smoking weed, drinking with my buddies, you know. But it's easy to lose yourself in that whole thing. You get comfortable. The job's easy. It's not fulfilling, though. You know, you go into work and you're like, fuck, I gotta do this shit again. That's why you have to drink and smoke weed, is because you fucking hate it there. It's so miserable. For me, thank God, I had some cool-ass coworkers, you know. I build my team. And it was cool. It was really cool. But not everybody has that mindset that I had, right? Like, but anyways, besides that, I'm going to start building courses so you guys can actually learn the skills that I have, so you can take it onto, you know, just the basics, so you can go into the, like, I'm going to do a cooking course so you can cook at home. You know, that's a very big skill, especially today since food prices are up the ass. I'll tell you where to shop, where to get your shit cheap, how to cook it so you can maintain an actual, like, nice physique without getting fat. You know, get your portions in, get your nutrients in, and I'll teach you all the knife skills and whatever, so you can actually get a job as a cook. You know, and I bet you, depending on the place, but I bet you'll make more money than what you're doing right now. Not to all the people, obviously, if you're a fucking, like, banker or whatever, you got a college degree, you know, this isn't for you. It's just for basic low people that are young, you know, barely going out into the marketplace, or just people who haven't developed any skills over their years. I can teach you some skills so you can at least get your foot in the door, and then from there, it's up to you. You know, you'll take it as far as you want. But this is what my brand is about, Blackout Entertainment. It's getting all the degenerates and turning them not into degenerates, you know, because there's still hope. There's always hope. As long as you keep fighting and keep doing shit, there is hope. Your life isn't as bleak and miserable as you think. You know, you just got to have a little mind switch and someone to show you that there is better alternatives. But anyways, going back to the little Tay thing. Yeah, she like, why would women want to work nowadays if obviously people are willing to spend money on their OF? Like, you're not giving them an incentive to want to actually work. There's nothing beneficial to them. If they can make easy money, they would. Who wouldn't? You know what I mean? Unfortunately, that's not true for guys. Us guys, most of them, 99% of guys, you know, there's probably that 1% that has it easy. But 99% of dudes, we're all ugly. You know, the only thing we have to offer is our work. Like, but there's still women who are able to see us. Just don't be a fucking weirdo. Work hard. Like there are still traditional women. You know, not all of the women are corrupted. There's still people out there. The people that you see online are the mentally ill, unstable ones that do OF. Real people are out there doing real things, and there's still real women and real men out there. They're just not going to be constantly online, you know? A lot of people give me shit because I've had my social media pages for like 2 years, 3 years now. And, well, that's because I was building my skill sets, you know? I didn't have time to actually invest in this. So it's funny when people are like, oh, you only have like 100 followers or whatever. And it's like, yeah, but it's going to grow every day. You know what I mean? I actually have shit to offer. I have things to say. What do you have to do besides complaining and being a little bitch online? You know what I mean? No skills, a fucking weirdo, fucking loser, just talking shit. This is why I don't take anybody online seriously. I'm here to put a message out there. If you guys want it, take it. If you don't, well then fuck off. Anyways, the whatever podcast, they're starting to become one of my favorite podcasts. I've been listening to Andrew Wilson a lot lately, and me and him think so much alike. You got to call these people out and start debating them and treat them. I don't know, show them, not even like treat them bad, but like just show them. Anyways, the dude said, "It is with solemn conviction and heavy heart that I write to you, for your conduct hath wandered far from the path of righteousness, and the stain of sin lies heavy upon your spirit." And then he goes off on a rant that sounds like he read it off a Bible. But at the end he says, or in simpler words, don't become a strumpet. He could have just said that from the beginning. But I agree. Don't become a strumpet. Anyways, we all know she didn't really give a fuck. She just wanted to use them, which is smart, I'm not gonna lie. But she just wanted to use them for marketing purposes. 18. I'm 18 now. Where are all the pay pigs? That's so funny, dude. She's like, everybody who subscribed to her, she doesn't even look at you like a fucking human being. Literally a pay pig. Wow. 100,000 likes and I won't drop the OF. Way off. Fuck it. 100,000 likes and I'll drop my 18th B-Day OnlyFans. She didn't even get that much. But youngest girl of the century drops the link tomorrow at 3 p.m. Lil Tay just got caught by her brother on live while talking about the link. I did it, link in bio, all content shot, 12 a.m. on my 18th birthday. B-Day special, only available for 24 hours. Come talk to me. And yeah, there she goes. She actually did it. Freshly 18, don't tell my mom. 18th birthday. Don't tell my mom. That's crazy. She made it. Your OF made me bust the hardest nut I've ever busted, all over my fingers, dripping everywhere. Holy fuck, Lil Tay. That's disgusting. See, that's the type of shit you dudes be texting, like, females, not knowing that they're actually really fucking disgusted by you. They just look at you as the fucking scum. Okay. $1 million in 3 fucking hours. 1 million. Lil Tay just broke the fuck out of OnlyFans. And here's her proof. Not bad for 3 hours. We broke the fuck out of the OnlyFans record. $1 million, dude. Imagine making $1 million through porn. That's insane. I understand why people do it, but like the dude said, the guy at the bottom, you lose your dignity and all. Not that they ever had any, but there's just some things money can't respect, or money can't buy, and that's respect. I burped. Holy shit, that hurt. Yep, and here's your link. I'm not gonna click on. But you know what's funny? I just saw. What's her name? Where is she at? This was the funniest fucking thing. Not that. Ah, damn. I think she deleted it. Yeah, she deleted it. But Bad Baby posted something where it's just like, she was jealous of it, and she was just like, OnlyFans record, I don't know, she said something about like you didn't break the record or whatever, and that she still holds the record, and obviously she's trying to gain clout from that shit too. But anyways, that shit, there's like a spiritual thing going on for sure, you know. I was just having this, I just made this post on X where some dude posted a picture of an angel, or what they're described as in the Bible, and it's like an eye with a whole bunch of feathers. And I was telling him, I was like, oh, yeah, I saw that shit when I was like heavily into psychedelics. Like, there was a time where I took a bunch of mushrooms, and I started seeing like everything was morphing and whatever, and and a bunch of things started morphing into eyeballs, and like you could see all the feathers in their wings like shifting, and like You know, they would like disappear in and out and morph in and out of reality. And I was telling them that I saw that, and a bunch of people were just like, "Oh, you fucking drug addict!" Like, you know, a lot of people actually believed what I was saying, and a bunch of other people were just like, "Oh, you're just hallucinating. That's not real." And then if you look into like all the you know, conspiracy theories or whatever about how our brain interprets, you know, life, and how everything's just atoms. Like if you look at like quantum mechanics, everything's just atoms and photons and lights and waves and whatever, and our brain is actually interpreting reality. Well, what's to say that those things weren't real when I was interpreting it under, you know, hallucinogenics? Because the thing with hallucinogenics is it makes your brain work in a different form, you know? It's processing information differently. So what's to say that I wasn't processing that into, like, reality, you know? If our brain is hallucinating reality right now, what's to say that's not real? You know what I mean? And so it could have been an angel. I can't say for sure. I think it was. Could have been an angel. Could have been a demon. A lot of people said that I saw demons, that angels wouldn't be, you know, in your psychedelic trip. But it's like, maybe they could be, you know, if they're trying to guide me. Because once I saw those things, I knew that there was like another presence. At least this is from my perspective. This is what I believe. There was another presence. And it made me realize that there is other things out there that we just can't comprehend, you know? And that we're limited in knowledge. And that our brain can only capture a percentage of the actual reality that's going on. You know, for example, like light, we can't see different spectrums of the whole light. We can't see different colors of the whole light spectrum is what I meant to say. And so we're limited in our abilities to actually see and interpret reality. So when you say things like hallucinogenics, it's almost like you stop using your senses the way they should be, and your brain starts processing it in a different way. But who's to say that's not real too? You know what I mean? Maybe you're seeing different alternate realities or dimensions or whatever. Or I could just be completely fucking fried. Who knows? But there's no actual like tangible way of assessing this. You know what I mean? There's no actual physical way of assessing this. At least not yet. But there are people out there who are doing their best to map these things. A lot of them come out on Joe Rogan, and I really like that. Okay, so I had to move rooms because my family ended up coming surprisingly mid video. Anyways, so going back to what I was talking about, I honestly forgot what I was talking about. Oh, I think it was like the whole psychedelic thing, right? Yeah, the angels and all that, and how we perceive, we can't really, there's no way to actually see if, like, there's no tangible way to actually map out if what we're seeing is real. Obviously, that's why we just call them hallucinations or whatever. But anyone who's ever done psychedelics, like, you know that shit feels so goddamn real. You know what I mean? And if what you think, your brain, there's actually physical responses to how you think. So, with that being said, I think they were real. I think what I saw was real. It had real life consequences on me, real life effects. If you want to call me fried for it, whatever the fuck, I don't care. It bettered me, so eat a dick. Anyways, this right here, I want to show you guys this video about Tucker and Alex Jones. And I know, they're like the worst people to fucking, I guess, quote. But see, the reason I like these guys is because they're on the edge of like exploring actual things that, you know, even though most people don't want to hear it, fuck them, dude. That's the whole thing of freedom of speech and America is exploring ideas that most people are uncomfortable with, you know? Fuck the general population. Everybody wants to sound so goddamn fucking smart, like, oh, science doesn't prove this, I need evidence for this, Pixar didn't happen. That's the most retarded, unscientific way of thinking in the world, you know? Science isn't about just what these scientists fucking put out on research paper and that makes you smart because you can regurgitate what they found out. That doesn't make you fucking smart. You know, being smart is actually exploring, seeing the things that most people aren't willing to do firsthand, you know, and then trying to give your account on it. You know, so that's what I did when I take psychedelics. I was just exploring different forms of consciousness and what this reality is actually made of. And since you can't prove it with evidence, physical evidence, then obviously must not be tarot. You know, fuck those people, fucking retards. They're retards who learned something. You know, but it's just regurgitated shit, dude. They don't actually explore, they don't actually create, they don't actually do anything. Don't be that cocksucker. But check this out.
The government since the 70s has been doing intravenous drip with it. It just didn't become popular the last 20 years by eating it. And I've talked to well-known people off record who have gone to these big DMT rituals at sacred sites, because reportedly those are like gates or places where dimensionally they've been doing sacrifices for thousands of years. So maybe the things hang around there, or it's a ley line, they're not sure. But if you go there and take DMT, they're having groups of 20, 30, 40 people who are seeing the same hallucination on it at the same time. They basically say aliens come up the steps of the pyramid, or, you know, and everybody's seeing it at the same time. They're having
Maybe it's not a hallucination.
Well, exactly. If this individual was seeing it, it's one thing.
Right.
But then sometimes people in the group even get attacked by these things.
Taking ayahuasca, taking DMT, taking any kind of hallucinogenic drug, which I've done, you know, as a drug. But
I didn't know Tucker Carlson did psychedelics. Maybe that's why he's more open-minded now. And anybody who hasn't taken psychedelics, they're the most closed-minded motherfuckers ever, and they're the ones who are gonna pull out, oh, well, science says this and this and that, and it's like, dude, yeah, well, my eyes say different, my brain says different, you know, and I'm still conscious. I still can do math very well. I still have real life fucking skills. So these accounts, when I say this, I'm not just some fucking fried ass motherfucker who's out on the streets, you know, homeless and doing meth and shit. Like, I understand our reality very well. I just can't put what I saw into words, because when you experience this, words don't even, they don't do your experience any justice. It's beyond words. I'm pretty sure, like, I'm trying to have chat GPT. I know, oh, you just get GPT. I'm trying to have chat GPT actually, like, put these things into words, because it's very good at least writing things in a way where you can understand it, you know, simplifies the complex. Anybody who says that if you use chat GPT, you're an idiot, that's so not true, dude. That person's an idiot and doesn't know how to use tools. It's like saying, it's like saying that you're dumb for using tools, like in construction. In construction, I would have these motherfuckers always, all the time, tell me that I was dumb for using fucking tools that made the job easier, and I wasn't man enough to do it. And it's like, dude, we're getting more production done. This is not an ego fucking thing where, like, we're getting paid on fucking who's the manliest. It's who gets paid doing more shit faster, you know, getting more work done, more production. That's what you get essentially. It's not always true, but essentially, if you get more production done, and you break your back less, why the fuck wouldn't I use the tools to help me, you know? And it's the same thing with AI. It's like, if you're using AI in a way where it's actually going to make you more fast at doing the things, more fast and concise at doing the things that you do on your daily life, why wouldn't you use it? It also creates more time to do other things that you want to do. So actually not using ChatGPT is retarded. But anyways, yeah, I'm trying to get ChatGPT to basically get all my thoughts and actually put it in a concise way so I can have it for you guys, and so you guys can experience, at least through, you know, through an outside sense, what I experienced. I'm not the best with words, guys, but I try. My thing is more like math and problem solving, but every day I'm getting better. The more I talk to the camera, and the more I, you know, go on Twitter or whatever and write tweets, X, and write posts. Fuck, I will never stop calling it Twitter. But the more I do that, the more I actually get better with things. So bear with me. It's a process. It's a process. Like everything else, it's a fucking process. Fuck all these cocksuckers who think that you have to be at a certain level to do anything. You don't have to be at a certain level to do anything. We all start off not knowing anything. Just go learn it. That's what life's about, dude. It's growing.
Now, knowing what I know, I would be very afraid that those drugs open up a portal for something to enter me.
They thin the veil. Exactly. And the Bible says pharmakia leads to conjuring and witchcraft, all in the Old Testament. And it talks about all the other tribes that were sacrificing people, and Jehovah says don't do that anymore.
Have some respect for the unknown. I mean, I'm not pretending to understand any of this stuff. And again, I've taken those, I've taken LSD. I get it. But I was 15. Now I have a lot of respect for the things I don't understand, and it is a kind of peculiar American attitude that whatever it is we don't know has got to be great.
Exactly.
And that's just not true.
Well, exactly. Our optic nerve, they've proven, picks up a lot more in the light spectrum that we see. So we have we have biological blinders so we can focus on the third dimension and not be completely freaked out by all this other stuff that's right near our dimension. And
what the fuck did I just say earlier when I was in the living room? I said the same thing. We can't see everything. Like how he said, we have blinders. We're not subject to all of the things out there. There's so much more that we can't see. And that's what I learned when I saw the angels in my shroom trip. Is like, dude, there's so much more to this that we can't see. I saw colors that don't even exist. Like if you want to say, like, my brain was actually seeing these colors, and I saw them in my brain that I have never seen in my entire life. Like, there is definitely other things out there, and your brain can perceive it, but your eyes and your senses limit you. But your brain is capable of perceiving a lot more than what we think. It probably is still limited in its own aspects too, but if you just focus like on your physical senses for everything, you're blinded to the abstract realities that are actually out there, to more realities. Like if you look at the 4 dimensions, like apparently it exists, but we can't see it. You just have to visualize it because we're in a 3D dimension, but it exists.
And kind of like a frequency bleeding in. And so exactly, you roll the dice when you do that. And all the ancients, even if you try to go to Peru or Brazil or whatever, take those drugs, they'll say, this is dangerous, you gotta get ready for weeks, we're gonna guide you through it. And I'm not saying even do it with those
But not dangerous in a sense that it will affect your serotonin levels or hurt your body. I mean, which is possible, I guess, also, or it'll kill you. I'm not even worried about that. I would be much more afraid of being possessed by something from outside me. I know people whose lives have gone in the wrong direction after doing that, or who've had.
And so have I. I say I'm one of the lucky ones who took these substances and got out, like I said. And it's because I saw those quote-unquote angels. I believe that presence that that is there. And like every time you take psychedelics, you feel an extra presence. Like you feel like the universe, it's a presence itself. Like everything's alive, and it talks to you. Like the universe talks to you. I know this sounds like some fucking woo fucking crackhead ass bullshit, but anybody who's taken them knows. And like I said, dude, anybody who's fucking against this is just they're not open-minded. They're not. Yeah.
Had important relationships dissolve, which is always a sign of evil. God brings us together, dark forces divide us.
I have that exact same instinctive caution not to do it. I like the frequency my brain's tuned to now. And I've talked to people that are...
And me too. Like, I don't think I'd ever take psychedelics again. Maybe in the future, but I like my mindset that it is right now. I'm a lot closer to God. My life's been great ever since, He's given me the energy to keep on going. I used to be a degenerate, man. I used to be very, very degenerate, jerking off. Not necessarily like playing video games, but just doom scrolling my life away. And yeah, it's a dark hole. I would not recommend living that life forever. But yeah, when I took that psychedelic substance, it opened my mind to otherworldly things. Not a degenerate no more.
people that do the rituals that are really into it, they say, no, it is true. Some people, get haunted by spirits and demons when they take it, but most people that doesn't happen.
Kind of a big risk.
Well, in high school, I took acid a few times too, and I've taken mushrooms a few times. That's kind of barely, manipulates the space-time fabric. The walls start dripping a little. But yeah, you take DMT or ayahuasca, which is, I guess, a longer breakdown form of it. I mean, reality goes gone.
Well, I remember flipping out on acid 40 years ago, 1984, when I was 15. I remember it very well. I'll never forget it as long as I draw breath. And I was being attacked by howling, leering, grinning cartoon characters jumping right into my face and screaming at me. And
wow.
I mean, I think it's pretty conventional, but I don't know. I mean, I think I
would say that's conventional. That's maybe 1 out of 100. That's still the bad trip.
Well, it was a bad trip, but I feel like that's a very serious thing.
Describe that more. Howling, leering demons.
Oh yeah, I remember I was in my bedroom. I was home for Thanksgiving vacation from boarding school, and I had taken a couple of hits of acid on an airplane flying from New England to California.
Oh wow.
Which is obviously not wise, but I was 15. I don't know. Someone handed me a bunch of acid. I want acid. And I was totally fine until I got back, and then I went upstairs, and it was the night before Thanksgiving, and I smoked pot with my brother.
Oh wow.
And it just unleashed this whole.
If you do psychedelics and you smoke pot, it just makes that experience so much crazier. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. Like, I've seen some people freak the fuck out after taking a hit. Like, you think it would relax you, but since weed is another psychedelic, it just makes it, blasts you off. I've never taken DMT. That's probably, if I was to take a psychedelic, that's probably one that I would take, but probably not till like I'm 50 or something. Probably not till I'm actually like super rich and can retire. I'll probably do it.
Whole thing where
did you look in the mirror?
Yeah, my brother's face turned into a rat with like this line. And I was like, wow, I think I'm flipping out. And then I spent like the next 6 hours being attacked by these figures, characters. I don't know what they were, but very, very vivid. Very, very.
Describe them.
I remember looking at a picture in my bedroom, and I'd just gotten home after spending all day tripping on this airplane, so I was kind of out of it. But I remember looking at this picture, and all of a sudden, whatever was in the picture, like a dog or something, jumped out at me and started screaming at me and leering with like teeth and laughing in my face. And then this one jumped out there, and then all, throughout my entire bedroom, these things were jumping out and screaming at me and laughing at me.
This is what I've thought and talked to folks and heard and felt. And everybody knows you're a good person. People that are already kind of worldly and really don't, and are almost to the dark side are in it, then it's wonderful and they're your friends and everything. But if the demons pick up that you've got a good trajectory, they just hate you. And if they think they can't get you, they just want to hurt you.
It was only when I quit doing, anything, including Advil, that I got moral clarity, I would say. And so I do think that stuff is a vector for actual evil, for things entering you and controlling your behavior.
And that's what word for word, as you know, the Bible says that. If you take pharmakia, meaning pharmaceuticals, and that is the gateway to hell. It says it opens it up.
Have you always believed that there were forces that you couldn't see that were real?
Like definitely something outside was telling me things. And so by the time I got older,
That is what I experienced when I saw those eyeballs shape-shifting everywhere. It's not like they actually like physically talk to you, but you get loaded with information. They talk to you through information and feeling. You get feelings. It's a whole different level of like communication, if you would say.
Realize that more, and then once I started tuning into it, it then just became more second nature, and then it was kind of like just. I was getting the information, not even thinking about where, not even processing it anymore.
It's only the affluent whites who've been convinced or trained to believe that, the only things that are real are things that can be experienced with the senses. That's
exactly what I was talking about. It's always those motherfucking scientists, science fucking believers, the know-it-alls, the ones who think they know everything. It's usually fucking atheists, too. I'm sorry, dude. I don't like atheists. Get out of here if you're one of them.
I grew up in a very affluent, white world. But whenever I go outside that world, deal with like black people or poorer people or, people from other countries, the Caribbean, Africa, Latin America, they would just say like out loud, that stuff's real.
Yeah.
Like where I grew up, the only sort of poorer people were Mexican immigrants. We would always say, oh, they're so superstitious. So superstitious. But,
I think it's what you said earlier. Superstition is a respect for the unknown.
yes, exactly. What we deride as superstition is actually a description of reality in many cases, and it's also a sign of respect.
And like you said, middle class or upper middle class, affluent whites, we're talking the last 60, 70 years, only believe in mainstream corporate science that's always changing every day anyways, and you're the humanist, you're God, we're going to become God.
Yes.
Ray Kurzweil said, I don't believe in God yet, I'm going to be God. Well, what an arrogant statement. Whereas realizing that you are finite, but part of something bigger, that is the respect of it. And so that's really kind of what boilerplate Satanism is I'm God.
The only
Yeah, see, this is my problem with atheists, is that where's your proof that something got created? Motherfucker, you're here. That's all the proof you fucking need, is that you're here. There's no evidence for creation. God isn't real. Like, dude, you're a minuscule part of the whole fucking universe. You can barely see all of what's out there. Your fucking science that you quote all the time. Oh, I know the world a lot more than you because I studied. You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking retard. You're blinded. You think that you know it all because, like, dude, the world is so much more vast than you can even sense or what we've studied, and there's still a lot more to learn. We haven't even explored 99% of the fucking ocean, and you think there's no God, and you think that you're smarter than the universe. Go fuck yourself, dude. Eat a dick.
people who retained their respect for the unknown and understood the limits of their own intellect were on the fringes of American society. That the mainstream of American society just was taught, probably by design, I would think, but you just like dismiss all that stuff.
Exactly. But I was about to add a wrinkle. I think you probably, because you've been at the heights of everything in your position, and I know I've been able to see some of this. When you actually get into the ultra rich, though, and also the top artists and people, they're completely into the occult.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. So
No, you're totally right. It's almost like the IQ scale.
Yeah, see, and this is another thing too. All those people who are really in power, they do believe in that. They're all Freemasons, Illuminati, Knights Templar. Like, you gotta look this shit up, dude. Most of these people, I remember in the small town that I lived, all the monuments, not all, but like a lot of the government monuments, that were created by the city, the parking lots, the signs, the schools, they all have Freemason symbols on it. Like, you don't think these people actually believe in it? Like, the higher ups, the ones that are actually like funding all these science studies and everything, like they believe in higher powers. Like right now, there's the whole thing that Jews control, America or whatever. I don't know if that's necessarily 100% true, but even if it was true, it's like, well, how come these people who actually do control everything and how come they believe in the cult, and over here you science fucking nerds who stay in your house jacking off all the time don't? Like, the people who are actually moving the world believe in these higher powers, and they probably have access to information that you don't because they're the ultra rich and ultra wealthy. And if they believe it and you don't, you just kind of, to me, it just seems kind of fucking stupid,
It's like dumb people understand the truth, really smart people know the truth, and in the broad middle, what do they call it, midwits?
Yeah.
They've convinced themselves that they got it all figured out.
educated idiots.
Dude, I literally just said that. Did I not just say that? Educated fucking idiots, dude. It's so true.
Educated idiots. But the truly smart people I know.
And they're all on X. A lot of them are on X. You'll see every time Tucker or Alex post something and like trying to advise people of this, you'll see all the fucking know-it-alls just start posting, trashing. Those guys are the real fucking idiots.
Matthias Desmet, for example.
They only believe in things, like I said, the hedonistic shit. This is most of the people, and it goes back to like what I was saying, that all those people only care about their dopamine. They think that this life is all about their physical needs, and like those people will never get passed into other areas. Sure, you might understand these sciences, but you don't understand it in a different level, like another perspective. You're just like, oh, that's just the way it is, and well, I'm just gonna get mine and fuck everybody else. It's like, no, dude, there's more meaning to shit. Get off your ass, leave your fucking room, put down the phone, and go experience shit in real life. You know, you're just trapped in your How can you say you know it all when you're just fucking trapped in your room, reading papers? Like, you don't understand how these things actually work in real life because you don't deal with it. You know, you read a bunch of shit, but you don't actually. Sure, you can understand the lessons, but you don't actually understand how it affects in real life. You know, there's like theory is 100% different than an application. Anybody who's ever started a business knows this.
They're like delighted to admit the limits of their knowledge because they're smart enough. First of all, they're secure.
Was it Aristotle said, I know nothing?
Yeah, well, of course. The beginning of wisdom, as my father always said, the root of all wisdom is knowing what an asshole you are.
Okay, so in the future, I'm gonna start diving deep more into like all these conspiracies or whatever, and I'm gonna try to make it to where you can apply it into your real life, right, with the skills that I know and how it how the fuck do I say this? See, this is why I need ChatGPT. But in the future, I'm gonna start building courses so you guys can have actual knowledge on, you know, like I said, getting yourself through the door of the things that I know, so where you can at least make a little bit of money, you know, start investing into crypto. So in the future, I'll have like things to do with finance and crypto and courses and cooking and just anything that involves, you know, building your life. You know, we're gonna start off small and then keep building, and the more I learn, the more I'll start spreading the knowledge as well. And yeah, we'll all help each other out, a race to the top. And I'm gonna start doing more of these conspiracy type videos too, and just making it to where how it applies to your life and how you can use the knowledge to benefit. Because I remember when I would dive deep into the conspiracy theories, I really like the Masonic ideology. It has a lot to do with the information that I would get with when I was doing psychedelics. Yeah, I would just get fed knowledge. You see like the map when you take psychedelics, you see the way the world works, and well, it just makes it a lot easier. And when I was studying the like Masonic religion, or it's not even a religion, but the Masonic group, right, their books, a lot of this stuff that they thought was the information that I was given on my psychedelic trips. So when people say that these things aren't real, it's like, well, why was I given knowledge about like these things that actually already are, you know, exist? Maybe it just opened up my mind. I was more perceptive to the way reality actually works, maybe. But it just felt like I was given the information. Like, it didn't feel like I was perceiving things and figuring it out. It just felt like I was downloading knowledge. But anyways, yeah, stay tuned. Like, subscribe, and follow. And these videos will get a lot better in the future, I promise.